Welcome. So in this lesson, we're going to be talking about addition and subtraction of negative integers, and this corresponds to exercise 1F. Our learning intentions: to understand that adding a negative number is the same as subtracting its opposite, to understand that subtracting a negative number is the same as adding its opposite, and then finally to be able to add or subtract negative integers. Let's begin by going through a little bit of theory here. Opposite numbers have the same size but different sign. So for example, the opposite of 3 is -3. So as you can see here, the 3 stayed the same. I just put a negative in front of it, so the sign changed. The opposite of -12 is 12. So as you can see here, the 12 stayed the same. I just changed the sign in front of it. It went from negative to positive. Let's now look at these. Adding a negative number is the same as subtracting its opposite. Adding a negative number is the same as subtracting its opposite. So here, 2 plus -3 is the same as 2 minus 3, which is equal to -1. The way I like to think about it is that this negative overpowers the plus here, and it kind of wins the battle, and now it's 2 minus 3. In contrast, subtracting a negative number is the same as adding its opposite. So here we have 2 minus -5. So we're subtracting a negative number. Now, when this happens, something very interesting occurs. This minus and this negative become an plus. It becomes an addition. So whenever you see a minus and a negative, so whenever you're subtracting a negative number, you're going to end up by adding its opposite. So in this case, this and this become plus, and it's just 2 plus 5, and that's going to be equal to 7. All right, let's go through some examples here, and we'll see it in action. Let me grab a pen here. Okay, first things first, 10 plus -3. Now we're going to rewrite it. That's the same as 10 minus 3, because remember, the negative overpowers the addition here. So it's 10 minus 3 here. And that's going to be equal to 7. We don't need to use our number line for that. If we wanted to, we could say we're starting at 10, and I'm going 3 back to 7. Next, 0 plus -4. I'm going to rewrite this as 0 minus 4. If we wanted to, we could immediately answer this as -4. If we wanted to use our number line, I'm starting at 0 and I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4 back. So -4 here. All right, let's go on to our next one. You might like to pause the video and try these two for yourselves. So pause the video and try these two for yourselves, and then unpause and see how you went. All right, let's give it a go now. So we have -3. Sorry, I should say -3. Whenever it's like this, it's a -3, -3 minus 5. And that's going to be equal to -8. If I was to check this on my number line, I'm starting here at -3, and I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 back to -8. If I were to come over here, I would end up with -1 minus 3. And that's going to be -4. If I wanted to double check that, I'm starting here at -1, and I'm going 1, 2, 3 back to -4. And that's how it works. All right, let's keep on going here. Oopsie daisy. There we go. So now we have something a little bit different. As you can see, we're now minusing a negative. And we know when this happens, it becomes an addition. So it's going to be 4 plus 2, which is equal to 6. Then over here, I'm not going to use the number line. I think we can do that. And then over here, we have 11 plus 1, which is equal to 12. And then we come here. And you might like to pause the video and see if you can do these two for yourselves. So what we would end up doing here is we have -11. This is going to become a plus 6. So now I've got a -11 plus 6. Now hopefully you're able to say, hey, that's going to be -5, but if you did need to use the number line, you would say I'm starting here at -11 and I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 this way. And that's how you would think about it. Last but not least, this is going to be -6 plus 2, because the minus and the negative make a plus, and that's going to end up being -4. And if we were to think about that in our number line, we're starting here and I'm going 1, 2 up to -4. And that's how you should think about it. All right, so I'll leave this first video here. I'll make a part 2 to this, but hopefully all of that made sense. And please click on to part 2, which will also be riveting material. All right, see you soon.